Hi y'all, Mike Peace. Welcome back to my shop for a Tuesday turning tip. Have you ever had a need to get two pieces of wood for a turning perfectly flat? I'm going to show you how to do it right now. And the trick is you take an appropriate piece of sandpaper grit, maybe 120, and glue it on a piece of very flat wood. In this case, what I like to use is MDF because it's always machined perfectly flat. And you'll get a lot of uses out of this before you have to worry about changing the sandpaper or throwing it away and get you another one. But basically, here's an example of something where I want to get flat. Let me show you, get a close-up of that. All right, I've got a threaded spindle block here. Anyway, I just want to show you. It's a spindle block, and I reuse these. But it's got a glue surface on it. It has scraps of wood, so you got to take that off. Normally, I'll take that off with a bowl gouge. I'll get as flat as I can using a bowl gouge like this.
I simply roll the bowl gouge over with the flute pointing toward 90 degrees and scraped with the lower edge. I could have used a regular scraper if I chose.
And I can generally remove all the waste wood and get it fairly flat, but then the challenge is getting it perfectly flat. So I take a straight edge, put against it. I look down on the top to see where the high points are. Might go back and hit those again, but then for the finishing touches, I'll get in there with this sandpaper disc at a fairly slow speed, grasp it with both hands, and then just hold it flat on there, and it'll chase you around a little bit. Well, that'll get rid of any small ridges and get you a perfectly flat surface for gluing the next use. The other technique that works very well for small pieces of wood, and maybe even including this, is just using the same item, just hand rub it. Here's an example of an art piece I took in did in a workshop a while back. Now, this piece is basically a platter, and it was turned flat on the lathe without too much problem on the rim. So then you cut it in half, they'd fit together. That's not a problem. But I'm talking about getting this part flat. Once you did that and glued it together, how do you get it perfectly flat? You know, you might take it to a belt sander, but maybe that's not convenient. And of course, assume that this little strip of wood is not on here. You just got these two halves here. And you can do the same thing. Just rub it up and down on a flat sanding surface, get those perfectly flat. Okay, I hope this tip was useful for you. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Come back on next Tuesday for another turning tip and Friday for a longer video. Y'all stay safe here.